fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have, that's what is on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook life dream. They post a pic of me deep clean, but it's pizza and burgers for dinner, you know what I mean. A snapshot of vacations that I got no money to take. Send you all of my sports car, you know that it's a fake. Got my love loaded up with things that aren't even true. Pretending on Facebook is my thing to do. Yeah, 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 yeah.
2,000 friends, which I've never done met. A pic of my lunch is what you gonna get. I had a post of your baby, say it's one darn cute kid. But I lied, cause it's ugly, that's called an online fib. I talk about success in my job and the pending promotion, but in reality it's a psych, cause I got a demotion.
Only the fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have, that's what is on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living a fake Facebook life dream.
You block me on Facebook without a judge, jury, or trial. I'll be creeping you the next day with a shiny new profile. See a pic of my family? Yeah, we're having a good time. Well, the joke's on you. We have not talked in 8 months or 9. I'll tell you about the weather and the stuff you don't need to know. I'll fake a good illness so the sympathy will grow. I'll ask you to donate to my made-up cause and post selfies on the daily, that ain't breaking no laws. So don't judge the life of the fake Facebook man, pretending to be happy like no one else can. All right, Kinsman, we are back at Timmins RV. We're in a different RV this time. And
yes, we are.
Every time I see one of these RVs, I'm thinking about moving out of my house in Porcupine and just coming in here. I think I'm ready to go.
Remember, when you take a beer, you gotta replenish the beer. That's the camping rule 101. KLOMP failed miserably. There's absolutely nothing in here to replenish. In fact, doing a show for KINZ and KLOMP Live would be amazing in one of these RVs. And this is where we are. Timmins RV, one of our newest sponsors for KINZ and KLOMP Live. And we're in one of their brand new Springdales. This kitchen is better equipped than my kitchen at home. How about you, Jake?
Right. Now, I do have another question for you, Kinsman. If we're going to go camping together this summer, we're going to have to split the chores. So are you going to be on the dishes? Or are you going to be cleaning up the outside by the bonfire pit? Or
I'm going to be hanging out by the bar fridge that's outside at the back end of this RV. I don't have cupboards like this at home. You've got the microwave. You've got the nice range down here.
What are you putting in your cupboards when you go camping? Do you have like some craft dinners, some chips? You look like a marshmallow guy, right?
Yeah, that's it. I'm a marshmallow guy, you know, s'mores, probably the nachos.
All right, Kinsman, if there's only 2 of us in the RV, I'm already claiming top bunk. It's like shotgun for cars, but RVs, what you do is you run into the nice bedroom and you say top bunk, and you have it all summer.
So while Jamie was claiming top bunk a few moments ago, he should have looked at the schematics of the brand new Springdale, the 2021 model here at Timmins RV, because he's over there. Yes, he's got top bunk, but look at my bunk. You pull this down. Isn't this amazing? Another bit of a part of the sleeping quarters. And I've got a view of the TV. On those hot summer sunny days, you can actually do your barbecuing out here. This is all coming out of the side of the Springdale RV. You've got a bar fridge. What else is over there?
Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here. So you're going to be on the barbecue. I'm going to be sitting by the fire watching that tiny fish that you caught, and I'm going to be like, Kinsman, don't even burn my steak. I'm taking the master bedroom. You can have both bunk beds.
And keep in mind, you can also finance options up to 20 years. Options available for 20 years with a minimal payment that will not break the bank. And you can get all the financing done right here on spot and on site at timmondsrv.com. Come see one of their amazing sales associates today.
Kids, hey, what are you doing?
I'm guarding my Springdale RV.
This is how I'm going to picture it this summer. We're going to sit down at my table here, and then you're going to sit down across from me, and you're going to give me one of those fishing tales. How you caught a fish this
look big. Hey, Klomp, you won't believe the fish that I just caught.
Oh, Kinsman, why didn't you go through the other door? There we are, Mr. Kinsman.
Hey, how are you, Mr. Klomp?
I'm feeling so good. You know what I did this weekend? I went and got a pedicure, Bombshell Beauty Bar, and I'm floating on air, my friend. I'm just going to get it out there. I got it done. I loved it. You ever been for one?
I haven't been for a pedicure yet. Not too many guys normally, go for a pedicure, but you're telling me that this is a must on the bucket and the to-do list, right?
Look at my great feet, Kinsman. Nice and clean and feeling good.
I picture them with the belt sander coming onto your feet the minute they take your socks off. They've got the mask on, Dumb and Dumber, that scene. That's what I'm picturing.
You got to go in there. It's a new shop. They're awesome local business. Okay, so we got some great sponsors. I love that RV commercial.
Isn't it great? Timmons RV, again, if you want to visit and, shop for your current, maybe your new future summer RV, you got to go see them. First left past the Kamoskosia turnoff. They've got the Get S'more event on right now where they offer $1,000 cash back. Don't pay for 6 months and financing options up to 20 years if you need it. And they also do camper on-site appraisals. And you can stop by their climate-controlled dome, which we shot the video in. No matter if it's raining, snowing, if it's, whatever's happening, it's nice and sunny inside the dome. And again, you can go for a socially distanced visit with Timmons RV. So thumbs up to Timmons RV. You can visit them, timmondsrv.com for more detail. Sebastian Vermette, the Cooperators, a better place for you. The Cooperators team, you'll find them at their new location in downtown Timmins, 239 Wilson Avenue. Maybe it's time to sit down to scope out your 2021 vision and your plans with the finances. You can come and chat with Sebastian and his team for life insurance, investments, RRSPs, tax-free savings accounts, RESPs, commercial insurance, and home and auto. And also want to send a big thanks to Nanish Kotek from Kotek Personal Injury Law here in the city. Nanish is your go-to guy for long-term disability and personal injury lawyer here in the city. Again, his office, 38 Pine Street North at the 101 Mall, second floor. And due to COVID restrictions, you need to book an appointment. And you can do that online over at koteklaw.com.
You talk about scoping out your 2021 plans. I probably should have scoped out my 1997 plans by looking at my account, but it's never too late, right? Go see Sebastian. And we love Kotek office in Timmins, great supporter of the show. So wonderful. That's awesome stuff, Kinsman.
Big thanks to all our sponsors. And big show tonight. KINZ and KLOMP Live, March 14th edition. I can't believe we're tiptoeing midway through the month of March. The Ides of March. Is that where we're going right now?
Yeah, that's a Ryan Gosling movie. I think we are getting there. I think it's supposed to be March break, but it's not. But to make things a little bit happier, we do have a prize tonight from our friend Sue at Sue's Variety, right?
We sure do. Sue's Variety 332 commercial. She is donating tonight a 2-can-dine club meal pass for you. And how are we going to give that away tonight from Sue's Variety?
This is always my job. Okay, it's my turn to talk. So we have a trivia night coming up on Tuesday.
Yes.
It's St. Patrick's Day, St. Patty's Day trivia. Mm-hmm. And what we're asking, if you can give us a trivia question. What's a good trivia question to ask for a St. Patty's Day trivia? And the one that looks good, the one that we can read and understand and we like, we're going to pick you and you're going to get the prize pack from Sue's Variety. Pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool stuff. And again, Sue's Variety, she's introducing a new menu here in the city of Timmins. Yes. Normally when you drive by, and I'm guilty of this, every time you drive by, I'm thinking, you're thinking of variety store, you're thinking gum, bags of chips. I need to get the Gatorade. But she carries a heck of a lot more. And again, adding more variety with a new menu, which we tried last week. We had the Donairs wedges and the pop for $9. And again, she's got the two can dine club meal. So if you're in for something different, Sue's Variety. And again, thanks for Sue for hopping on to KINZ and KLOMP Live tonight.
You always got that thumb out, Kinsman. I'll give it right back to you.
You know what? Hey, we were trying the fist pump the last time. It didn't quite work. No.
And you have the pen in the hand. But I know why, because you are putting together a draw box for everyone that put their business name in for the morning grind. Now, it's not too late to do that.
No, you can still do it.
We are starting tomorrow. So every Monday and Wednesday for 4 weeks, we're going to be randomly selecting businesses. And tomorrow it's 2. So we're going to draw 2 businesses at the end of the show. And we're going to show up with coffee and donuts, right?
That's right. And a big thanks to our sponsors providing their generosity for this contest, because without the help of Mikey's General Sales and the help of PAD's Canine Protection and Detection Services, it would have been you or I brewing the coffee and bringing whatever we had in our cupboards to these businesses.
Yeah, we would have had the instant coffee thing going there, right?
That's right. They would have said, KINZ and KLOMP, get out of here with this. But thanks to Mike Mason up on Airport Road. Mikey's is in for the sponsorship for the 4 weeks, and also PAD's Canine Protection and Detection Services. Martin Peel is providing the coffee and the donuts. So combine both those amazing sponsors together, and we've got 4 weeks of deliciousness happening. And again, go to the thread, which you posted earlier today. Put your business on there. And again, there's still time to get your ballot into tonight's draw. We'll pick 2 businesses. And yeah, Jamie and I, you and I, Jamie, are going to, we're going to make a couple deliveries tomorrow morning.
Okay, so something has happened. I'm not the most important Jamie on the show tonight because we have Jamie Warren here. That's awesome, right?
That's right. Canadian country superstar. We've had people bugging us for the past few weeks when we let word out that Jamie Warren was going to be on the show. I know Scott Raymond's going to be tuned into tonight's show. I know our good buddy Rick Westbrook is also a big fan of Jamie and also going to be tuned into tonight's show.
So should we bring him on without further ado?
I think so, but how about this for a title? If you Google Jamie Warren, he is Canada's most awarded independent country music superstar.
He is.
What kind of title's that, right? Does it fit on the business card? Let's bring him on and ask him.
Okay. Let's pop him in here. Let's see how we go here.
There he is.
Hi.
How you doing, Jamie?
I'm well, and thank you very much for that introduction.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, do you put that on a business card, or does it just say, click here for more information on the bag?
I like that one. I'm going to add that to the card. No, it's one of those things where if you're around long enough, those things seem to just be. That's somebody asked me the other day, the secret to success is never quitting.
Yes.
Sometimes I wish it was more mystical and romantic, but sometimes it's just, not giving up. And so when you've been around a long time, that's what happens. And I prefer, I got to be careful with this word. I prefer iconic as opposed to older.
Fair enough. Okay.
I mean, it's
you're seasoned,
right?
More seasoned now.
Yeah. Are you getting used to the online shows since we've been doing this for the majority of the past 12 months?
It's something that's really interesting. When we first got locked down, and this was the mid to end of last March, and so I did a Friday night show for about 2 solid months, and I know people really wanted that, and I was glad to be able to be part of that. But I also, and that's when I started bringing Jeremy in, my guitar player, to mix it up a little bit for myself as well. And so with all the virtual shows, I'm happy that the audience has been receiving them, and it's been something that they've needed. I think that there is a mild disconnect because of the live performance, right? Like you get that instantaneous response. And I was joking. I can't think of who I was talking to recently, but I was just saying I'm looking forward to singing through a sound system.
Again, right? You almost want to have that the squeaky mic or the feedback just to get you back out in front of a live event again.
And then do a and then you hear people applaud, and then you tell a goofy joke and they laugh out loud, and it's like I'm looking forward to that, and I suspect that will come for this summer. There will be, whether it's acoustic or smaller crowds, but we will have some live performances this summer for sure, and that's a good thing.
Good, love it. We're looking forward to that too. So I'm excited to get into some music. I don't know about you, Mark.
Oh my! I'm excited to listen, sit back, and enjoy the music all the way from Kitchener. You're from Kitchener. You're living and residing in Kitchener right now.
We shifted back to Dutton, a little bit southwest of London, but we're in the southwest end of Ontario.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I get back to KW on a regular basis because that's where I record. That's where the studio is. So.
All right. So, what do we got right off the bat?
Well, I mean, we were talking. Mark and I were talking with this, and this was one of the requests he had. So let's. It's all weather related. Rolled out of bed on a Sunday morning, went to the park to clear my head. I saw a sun goddess bathing beauty. I said, "Hey, baby." She said, "Gonna come?" I said, "I don't mean nothing by what I'm saying, just trying to say hello." She said, "I've been there before, and you can be sure that ain't no place I'm gonna go. When the sun goes down and the rain begins to drown, any chance you'll find someone to hold, just reach out your hand, baby, then your heart will understand. It's just a sunny day in the park. Sign only and feeding the pigeon's heads, if it were his only world. With trembling hands, he shook his finger at me and said, "Take it out of here, you jerk." I said, "Hey, honey, don't you know that ain't no way to treat a prospective friend? Sip of your wine, I'll tell you, baby, I'll be your friend forever, amen. When the sun goes down and the rain begins to drown, any chance you'll find someone to hold, just reach out your hand, baby, then your heart will understand. It's just a sunny day in the park. It's just a sunny day. Ooh, don't let it slip away. Rollerblade jumpers and south-off flunkies, angry kids in black, playing guitars and smoking cigarettes and wondering how to get their future back. I said, "Hey guys, would you mind if I join in?" They say they didn't need my help. Well, it's been a while, so I flipped around, smiled and kept the birds to myself. When the sun goes down and the rain begins to drown, any chance you'll find someone to hold, just reach out your hand, baby, then your heart will understand. It's just a sunny day in the park. It's just a park. Just another sunny day. It's just a sunny day in the park. Just another sunny day. Hey. Woo!
There he is, Gene Warren.
Yeah. Sounding good.
Thank you.
It might be our technology, but we got a little bit of an echo at our end. Maybe I'll make a bit of an adjustment here.
Was it on your end or our end? I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
What I could do is, here, watch this. Here's, Ange, are you listening? Okay, you may want to turn the phone down. The listening in the other room?
Oh, no, I'm not listening.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, see, there you go. Okay, well, then I was just taking a shot there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
have no idea what would be causing the problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of tinny on one end. I don't know if it was just picking up the.
No, that's too bad. Is it still happening?
No.
No.
We can definitely hear you clearly now. I just checked the settings there, but the song sounded great though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is Angela.
Hi,
Hello,
Angela.
Angela.
That's Mrs. Warren.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh,
Mrs. Ward.
well, we are married. That's true.
Yeah.
There you go. So I have a question I really want to know. So I assume like when you sit down and write a song, it's either something that inspires you personally or maybe something that you witnessed, outside of a personal relationship or a story. But do you ever sit down and think about writing a song and then realize maybe this is too personal and I do not want the world to know this? Or are you an open book when you write music?
Well, see, now that's an interesting question and setup, because what I suggest to writers in a mentor-teacher relationship is be careful when you're writing something that's incredibly personal. And why I say careful is don't be afraid to relax and take some time. Because sometimes if you write when you're in the middle of it, you don't really have a good storytelling perspective on it. Sometimes you are too emotionally connected, and it is difficult to write a story like that. As an example, I wrote a really neat song about my father with Carrie DeMare, my writing partner. And my dad passed away about 7 years ago. And I knew I wanted to say something about it, but honest to goodness, it took me 5 years to be ready to write that, to tell that story. And Carrie's father died. And this is what got us to write this song. And I had this little idea sitting around. And so, yeah, sometimes you need some perspective on it. And when you co-write too, this is another thing, is rarely are songs autobiographical. They just aren't. I mean, are they personal? Are they connected with you? They can be, but it's okay, again, as a writer, to change some of the names, right? To work with your partner, your co-writing partner, who may have a slightly different story to tell, yet still the same. So I hope that answered your.
Yeah, it does. I was always curious about the thought process. And, and additionally, I always wondered, when you write, is it always something you can relate to or you've seen, or sometimes do you like invent a story, something that you think would just be a good story to tell?
Yeah, see, I'm glad you said invent, because that's it. I mean, sometimes you're just, I have to be careful what I say, making crap up, right? Like you're a guy and a girl, two guys, whatever, two girls in a room, just going, what do you want to write about? I don't know. What do you want to write about? Greatest hit songs started that way.
Oh, okay.
We used to go through newspapers, or magazines are great, and just read. Just look at the headlines, and you'd be surprised how you can find a hook line from just paying attention. I've gotten some great hook lines listening to the radio, where it's not the lead hook line, but it's within the song. This is a very true story. Rick Tippie, a good friend of mine from BC. Sorry, honey. And I was listening to the radio, and this is in the 90s, and Rick's had a bunch of hits. And so he was talking and setting up, they're going to come back after the commercial break with his new song. And he said, yeah, I I read this Kenny Rogers quote, and he likes to find songs that a woman wants to hear and a man can't say, right? And I go, oh my God, that's a great hook line.
Yeah.
I waited after the commercial break and let him, and I heard him sing a song, and he never once used that line, like not once. And I thought that was going to be the hook. So I wrote this song. It was a hit for me called "What a Woman Wants to Hear and a Man Can't Say." I wrote it with J.K. Gully. And then the next time I saw Rick out west at a country music week, I bought him a beer first and foremost. By the way, buddy, and he laughed. But that's you got to look for those hook lines. They might just be sitting right in front of you.
That's very
make stuff up.
And it could turn into a hit. Very much could turn into that next hit, right? Yeah, you never know. That's why they always say you need to keep jotting things down, and eventually lift the words from the paper and turn it into a smash hit. Who knows?
See, and you'd be surprised where ideas come from. Like that, the first song I wrote sang for you, "Sunny Day in the Park," you requested. I wrote that with Tim Lewis, who is originally from New Jersey, and he still to this day says coffee. You talk to him, hey Tim, I don't want to have a coffee. And he married a Kitchener girl. That's how he ended up in Canada.
Okay.
Anyway, he played keyboards in my band, and we decided to write a song together. He played me a few songs that inspired him, and I played a few songs that inspired me before we started writing. Now, the point of the story I wanted to share was one of the songs he played was a Beatles tune, and it was Norwegian Wood, right? And it does this really funky thing. It goes from the one major to the one minor, like the verses, it changes. Goes back and forth. It's a very abstract mathematical approach to a song, right? But it's a well-known tune. It was a hit for him, right? So that's how we started. Then we wrote the song, and it was time for a bridge. And I said to Tim, you know that thing? You go to the one minor. Can we do that? And so the bridge of "Sunny Day in the Park." Ooh, it's just a sunny day. Ooh, don't let it back to the major. To the last verse. And that's where it came from. It was the Beatles. I went, and so that's you could call it stealing or inspiration.
I'm going to say inspiration.
Yeah. Look, one of the listeners, Mark, says, "Can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with BS."
There you go. Now Anne's just laughing.
Yeah. It's sort of a philosophy at our show, more on the BS side.
Yeah, more on the BS side of things.
I had to call her back because I realized that I started.
I don't need to be.
You asked me something about writing, and I'll just talk forever.
All the romantic ones are obviously about me, though. Like all
Very
the
true.
really, loving ones.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I assume, obviously, writing music is artistic expression, but it also could be a great stress reliever, right? If you're feeling stressed and you need to get an emotion out, sometimes pad and paper on front of the laptop, however you write, that must be a good way to release.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm in writing mode right now, and today I was just doing my normal thing, playing a little bit out in the kitchen, and I remember Anne just going, "Do you want me to record that?" I said, "No, I already did." Because she got me on to using paying more attention to my phone, and I feel comfortable when I'm in the writing mode, in the noodling mode, and that's what happens. And usually the end of January through May, because it's downtime. With COVID, it's always downtime. But in the past, right, nobody's touring then. Per se, and so that's usually when I write 2 or 3 days a week with different people, and so I really enjoy that. That's to answer your question, Jamie. Like that, when I'm in that writing mode and I'm playing, that puts a smile on my face. That makes me feel comfortable, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, complete sense. Sure does.
All right, Mark, more music.
More music from the one, the only, Jamie Warren.
Thank you. Well, I'll dedicate this to Ange. Because we used our wedding for the video. Marianne Elizabeth James, 5 months old and a week today, in a pretty white dress. Her mama made for her. 3 drops of water upon her head. Welcome to the family, the preacher said, and we all stood up and whispered. We all know what happens next. Take the stairs down and hang on there. His life begins and ends in the basement of the church. There'll be coffee and drink and tears to cry. Homemade butter tarts and apple pie. You got your sandwiches cutting for the wall. Nothing to come on, need to know. We're living with a way. You walk through that door, got a moonlight. KINZ and KLOMP, basement of the church. Walking down the aisle on Saturday night, Mama smiled and her daddy cried as he gave his daughter to a fine young man. Benjamin softly said, I do. With a tear in her eyes, Susie said me true. And we all stood up and sang hallelujah. We all know what happens next. Take the stairs down and hang on there. This life begins and ends in the basement of the church. There'll be coffee and a drink and tears to cry. Homemade butter tarts and apple pie. You got your sandwiches cutting for they want. Nothing but the morning needs to know. There'll be 11 on the way. You walk through that door, you got a moonlight. KINZ and KLOMP in the basement of the church. We celebrate John Jacob's life today. Grandpa, to you it's so hard to say goodbye. He'll carry him away. What you need late in that flight is the hand on your shoulder as you're tipping it back in. A gentle voice saying, you're gonna be okay. Son, you got a new life. KINZ and KLOMP. It begins again in the basement of a church. Celebrate life. Celebrate life.
Amazing. Basement of a church.
Kate, I assume Katie's your daughter by sounds great, Dad.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I will. It seemed obvious, but your daughter chimed in. Yeah, you do sound great. Obviously, that sounded amazing. And Mark wants to know, what other great artists have you had a chance to jam with?
Interesting. Well, the one that just said thanks, Dad. I've jammed with her a few times. She did release her 4th single, by the way. Both my kids are very, very musically inclined and very talented individuals. So other artists, you know, it's funny. This came up on a Facebook post today. Is who's the most famous person you've met? Now, I said I've met a lot of musical artists, and part of that is just, you know, doing shows over the years and who. But what really kind of starstrucks me is hockey players. I always wanted to be an NHL hockey player. That's, you know, and so, you know, that's my answer was at the Facebook post was Bobby Orr. I remember getting him to sign a sweater that I had at the time, and that was pretty cool. I've had a lot of sort of bump into NHL hockey players. Or there's Johnny Busick was another great one. And to me, that's where you'll get, what's wrong with Jamie? Why is he talking fast? Like, it's like, because that makes me nervous. Like, that's kind of cool. That's the Grey Bruce growing up in southwestern Ontario, playing lots of hockey as a kid, right? But in terms of jamming, gosh darn it.
What about your karaoke story?
What's that?
Your karaoke story was pretty cool.
Oh, well, okay. So, and this did come up, and it suits where you guys are talking to me. It was in Timmins, and we were doing the Maple Leaf after we had done the high school, and we were opening for Prairie Oyster. We were doing a show. We did a run of 6 shows with Prairie Oyster across the northern loop there, and so I said on stage, "Is the Maple Leaf still open?" They're going, "Oh yeah. It's like, okay, well, it's a Tuesday night. We're going to come for a beer afterwards." So then we beat the Oyster crew there because they had a longer show than us, right? And so I'm singing a karaoke song when Keith Glass walks into the bar, and he gives me this funny look, like "Are you kidding me, man? What are you doing?" You know. So then I went up to the karaoke guy and I picked a song and I wrote Keith Glass's name down. So for the rest of the night, this is a true story, is that we'd get different band members and their names would pop up and they'd have to go up and sing. And at the end of the night, we may have had a few beverages. We were singing an Alabama tune, Mountain Music, together.
Okay,
And I suspect there might have been some people in the crowd going, "These people have record deals?"
Yeah, that's great.
Nothing worse than trying to belt out someone else's song, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of curious. So I guess we're all longing for the days to perform in front of a live audience, Mark and I also. But when you go on the road, how is there a point where being on the road too long is no good? Do you have a boundary? Do you like, okay, I'll go on the road for a month, but then I need to get back home for a week? Do you plan ahead for these types of things, or you love being on the road and touring?
Well, I mean, the opportunity, it's different in Canada because we have not a lot of major centers. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying by that, that's not like you can tour the whole country in 40 days, right? And play a lot of markets. So that alone means that you're not gone from home too long. But the one misconception sometimes I think is, I bet it's a lot of fun. You're partying all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that gets missed, because what happens is you have a show and you drive into the new town at 4:00, you go to the venue, you do a sound check, you come back and you have a shower. This is going to be a boring part of the story. Then you have a bite to eat, then you go do the show, then you sign autographs, and now it's 10:30, 11 o'clock. Probably you'll go to the country bar in town and have one drink and be back in bed by midnight because you have a lobby call at 7 a.m. because you have to get in to whatever vehicle, and you got to drive 8 hours to the next show. And it's just an endless cycle. Now, I'm not complaining. What throws you off is a day off, because, right, you get into the cycle as you get into the routine, right? And then now you got a day off and it's like, oh yeah, let's have a few extra beers and hang out, right? And it sort of topples the apple cart. But there isn't, I mean, do we have fun on the road? You have to, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's not quite as decadent as you think. It's just kind of like sleep, get in the truck and drive.
Right. Interesting, because a lot of folks just see the product on the stage, and of course it looks a lot of fun and it seems like you're having fun all the time, but at the end of the day, it is a business. You take it seriously. You want to be prepared for these shows. You want to try to get as much rest as possible as you can while you're in a vehicle. So there's everything that happens the other 21 hours of the day. That's, your business. You're preparing yourself, because the people, whether they're paying $5 for a ticket or $500, you want to make sure they see the best show possible.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you want to do, you're a professional, right? And so, you want to be well rested. I mean, there's exceptions to all those rules. Sometimes you're flying to see your pants, but and prepared and warmed up, right? And stretched, and it's just, that's part of making sure that you pull it off for the audience, because that is your job. Here's an interesting little story that sometimes too, after the show, like I've had some people that have talked to me sometimes talking about other artists as an example, and it's going to have a positive spin at the end, where they found the artist maybe a little standoffish, or they found the artist not quite as friendly as they expected. And I said, when did you meet them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, before the show we had, okay. And then they tell me the stories of the artists that they really had a great time with and were a lot of fun. And I said, when did you meet them? Oh, it was after the show. Right. And see, and I want to make your point, Jamie, because it is a bit of a job, right? And so what's the local sports team? Who are the names that I want to talk about? You're thinking about the new community you're in. You're preparing for your show, right? And then when it's over, it's like, oh, God, let's go have a beer, right? And so sometimes it's not that artist is standoffish. They're just concentrating, right? They're focused on the show. And sometimes it's more fair to meet them afterwards. I'm just throwing that out there.
Pretty interesting, eh, Mark?
Yeah, very interesting. You know, I Jamie and I, we go back I think 2003. Jamie, we met it was the Country 93 video or the birthday bashes at the Bayshore Community Center.
We did that a couple times. That's in the sort of the small part of the arena, right?
Yeah. Back in Owen Sound, that's where we clanked beer bottles for the first time. And you were obviously from Hanover. Owen Sound. You're one of the locals down that way. And you were always on stage, and I remember those parties were great. I think meeting you even before the show and after the show, I don't think you have a bad demeanor in you, even if someone came up and asked you for an autograph.
Well, thanks for saying that. The funny thing is, Owen Sound was the big city when I grew up, right? Like you had two options in Hanover. You either drove to Owen Sound or you went to Kitchener if you wanted, to see the big stores, go to the fancy places. And to bring it all back to hockey, you had a junior A team. So that was a big. I'm telling you, man. We only had junior C. So
yeah, we got junior A up here. Our Timmins Rock, playing some good hockey in their COVID bubble. I don't know about you guys down that way. I guess the OHL's not even playing, but thankfully we've got a junior A bubble right now where our teams are playing COVID style of play. And Timmins Rock, they're in the middle of a 10-game series. If you're trying to picture what COVID style of hockey is, they're playing the same team 10 times right now in the next COVID bubble.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, Timmins. Now going back to just to talk about. Do you remember that they were? It was a celebration of Shania. I think, and there was a big festival that ran for a couple of summers there. I'm stumping you?
Is it
a couple of like the festival with Shania, or just a couple of years ago with Stars and Thunder?
No, it was the when they opened up the thing, the dedication to Shania, and there was
the Shania Twain Center.
Yeah, and we did. I think I sang there the first year, but there was two big concerts, and then they shifted it to a rock concert. Or rock festival, my apology, after the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Right before our time at Jamie.
Well, I now realize that.
Maybe. Like Shania's been here. She's performed, once or twice in the city?
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, now, the interesting thing is when you were asking me earlier about other artists is that Dwayne Steele and I opened a show for Shania. Like, that's the first time we met her. When she was obviously on Universal then, and she wasn't out performing yet. So the idea was she signed autographs for 6 hours, and Dwayne and I were the entertainment. And that's at that time it was not Universal, it was Mercury Records, and so that's how. Like as an example, at that time, Dwayne and myself and Terry Clark did some shows together out west. Again, the same label. It was that was the connection. And Dwayne and I still write together, still good friends. And I see Terry every once in a while at the CCMAs.
What? And I'm distracting from him playing more music, but I have another burning question. What do you think, as a Canadian, as a Canadian musical artist, what are some of the benefits of being a Canadian artist compared to an American, and maybe what would be some of the drawbacks? Is there a difference?
There isn't a couple levels. The industry itself is very compartmentalized in the States, where in Canada you could technically, manage yourself, agent yourself, book your own shows. That's now it makes it seem a little smaller, but you can function that way. In the States, you really do need a team.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean you can't start without that team. So I think that would be the biggest thing. The other interesting thing about Canada and our music, and I'm proud of it, and it's very interesting. It's not too dissimilar from Texas, and what it is in Texas is there's a lot of singer-songwriters, and in Texas's version of country music is all of the above, right? It's not Nashville country. You get rootsy, folky country, you get heavy metal, rock and country, that's Texas, right? And Canada is kind of like that too. We have a wider version. As examples, certain artists that haven't broken through, Blue Rodeo, great band, right? Tragically Hip. We've had the Bare Naked Ladies took a while, and what happens is, if it's not specifically this kind of music, when you go down south, they go, well, what is it? Pick it, one or the other. And it's like, well, no, we do all of the above up here. And then you throw Celtic music into the mix. Well, that really messes them up.
It really messes everybody up.
Yeah, is it country? Is it bluegrass? And so I'm proud of us that we have a wider version of our vision of what country music is. And now, the big thing with the States is the money, right? I mean, there's more major markets, you sell more CDs. If you have hits down there, it generates a bigger amount of money, which just, I suspect, would give you a little more freedom. You got to work a little harder up here.
That's it. And for yourself, you chose, going back to, I guess, can you call it the musical fork in the road? You've stayed independent your entire career. Did you have any bigger, like the big labels trying to lure you with stuff, or you just say, I'm just going to continue my own path, my own vision, and continue that way? How did you choose the independent route way back in the day?
Well, see, sometimes the answer is the independent route chooses you. And what I mean by that is what I have, and I was signed in Nashville, which had me one record out in Canada on Mercury, right?
Okay.
And so then there was a team involved, and that was nice. The answer to your question is I didn't set out to be independent. Like, I wanted a record deal like everybody else. But then when somebody doesn't give you that record deal, what do? Well, you keep moving. And sometimes it's not as romanticized or mystical as it's sometimes presented in the movies. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll keep going, right? And that's my connection to the independent thing, is that I'm a singer-songwriter, and I feel like I can't not do that. And so, and then also I've had, I had hits in the 80s, and then I wasn't country. And then somebody tapped me on the shoulder about 1993 and said, that crap you were doing in the 80s, I think it's back. And it's like, oh, okay. Because I've never been considered a traditional country artist, right?
Okay.
And then I had some hits again, and then it just, this is part of how life goes if you try to stay relatively authentic. And so that's just what it is. Now, the thing with the States, this is another true story that I don't tell very often, is that I lived in Memphis back in 1983, had moved down there. And on one off day, I took a drive to Nashville, and I dropped off a bunch of tapes. And Paige Levy, who I think still is at Warner Brothers at the time, liked my tape. And we had this dialogue. And this is before the internet, right? So it was either a phone call or a letter in the mail. That's how you connected with people. Yeah. And so she asked for more material. And so we recorded some more material when I got back to Canada, sent it back to her. This is like 1984. And so we got this letter. I wish I still had it. It said, thank you very much for all the new material from Jamie. We think he's really talented. We wish him all the best, but we're going to go in a slightly different direction. And they signed Randy Travis.
Oh,
and so, and he did okay, right? He did okay. And I really I'm a fan of Randy Travis, and so like to me to think that I like to get a record deal at 22 was kind of unheard of at that time. Right? It's usually you were 30 years old before you got a record deal, and so anyway, there and yeah, sometimes you just don't know. You just keep doing it, and sometimes they pick your number.
Dave, part of Rosewood Avenue. Very well said, Jamie. Really love to hear your knowledge of the music industry.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, and another great local country duo. They're amazing.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. All right. So I think we should get into another song, and then we have a fan of yours who's been waiting after your next song. He wants to ask you a question. Scott Rain from Cochrane, Ontario.
Okay, sure.
So
This is the title cut from the new record called "The Secret to Life." How's that? Saw a man standing on the corner. He was holding a sign. He said, "Only $1," and underneath it just said that. Him in this old world's hard to figure out. Live a little more life, son, and you'll know without a doubt. It's a secret to life. Ain't no secret. Yeah, that's right. It's just a mild misunderstanding about how the world revolves around you. And here's the truth. You know, that's a secret. Yeah, that's a secret. To life, yeah, that's a secret. Always tried to be the man, to be the one, to be the best I can. Keep on trying, wonder why. Now you're telling me there's more than that, I just don't understand. Try. I mean, this old world can't be that easy to figure out. He said, son, you ain't listening, 'cause I know without a doubt it's a secret to life. There ain't no secret. Yeah, that's right. It's just a mild misunderstanding about how the world revolves around you. And here's the truth. You don't. And that's a secret. Yeah, that's a secret. To life, yeah, that's a secret. Lend a hand, take a stand, take the time to be the best friend that you can. Baby, wave a hand to you, tell someone you love them. Every chance you can, do it again. 'Cause the secret to life, yeah, ain't no secret. Yeah, that's right. It's just a mild misunderstanding about how the world revolves around you. And here's the truth. You don't. And that's a secret. Yeah, that's a secret. To life, yeah, that's a secret.
country music always seems to find the positives in life, I find, for the majority, as compared to other music out there. Is that true?
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe more so than it has. More so in the past. I think that the songwriting has evolved to be more contemporary in some of the topics that it tackles. These days, and the phrasing and stuff like that has really sort of phrasing and melody. Like we've really incorporated a lot of pop music in country music as it sits today, which I think is awesome. I really do. I've never been a traditionalist, yet I grew up with that music. I could play it for you right now. I love it. But as a writer, that's not really my style. But I like all of the above. There to quote that. What happens when I get a little bored with country music is not stylistic. It's when it's all the same. It's all the same tempo, the same production. It's, okay, give me something on the left or right of it.
Right.
Mix it up for me.
You be a little creative. Okay, so we have a fellow here, Scott Raymond. I'm going to bring him in. See what he. Can you hear us, Scott?
Yes, I can.
Hey, Scott.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good. I did a classic. I dropped my pick. That's the way I roll. I found it.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Who would you want to do a duet with?
Well, okay. So, if it was a guy, it would have been Merle Haggard, and or Don Henley. Now, if it was a girl, I've got a couple, but Emmylou Harris would probably be on the top of my list. Dolly Parton would be on that list as well.
Crow.
And well, did you hear that? She said Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
I have a crush on Sheryl Crow. So there. I mean, what a great singer, what a great songwriter, and she plays bass guitar. Really, I mean, like, come on. But yeah, that's who I'd love to do a duet with because I really like those classic country voices. Lynn Anderson was another, and Tammy Wynette, huge fan of hers. Just a very country cool voice.
And another question: after this COVID-19 do you plan on coming back up here to Northern Ontario to Cochrane and or Timmins?
Well, it's funny. My buddy Rick Westbrook is probably watching right now, and I've been known. I've heard this. I've been known to play his backyard. But what I suspect is going to happen. It's interesting. I just signed a contract to do a show in Stony Plains, Alberta, just outside of Edmonton, the end of July, and so it's a socially distanced outdoor event. I'm playing just acoustically, and I think you're going to see more shows like that this summer. I don't know if we can accommodate the big festivals yet, but I do believe that you're going to get a chance to hear and see live entertainment. And what I think might happen is you might see some more iconic artists. And again, I'm very honest, right? We're cost effective, right? And I think that in that transition, you might see a few more of the elder statesmen. I don't know what and the younger ladies. Yeah, I'm going to say that because Michelle Wright might be watching. But no, I mean, I got a story to tell you about Michelle too. We may or may not be the same age. I suspect she's much younger than me, but we came on the scene at the same time. We used to talk a lot in the 80s. Anyway, the story is yes, you will get shows this summer. I'm pretty confident, and I will come up your way. I'm pretty confident of that too. I'll make something happen because I'm ready to play.
I think so. I think all artists are ready to jump back into the saddle. You still have to, even though you don't want to live your life in fear, as most people I guess are saying with the pandemic, but you still have to carry it on your shoulder. Are there different restrictions, like when you were booking this July? If they say if everything goes through, you're going to bring you have to quarantine on either side, or do they implement any restrictions like that into these newer festivals and the new age with COVID?
Well, I mean, it may be different when we get to that, but at this point in time, you can fly within Canada, right?
Yeah.
And they may have to quarantine once you get there, but I suspect we'll all be vaccinated by that point. And the show itself actually is set up. It's just me acoustically, and it's outside, and the audience is socially distanced, so that even if it was shut down, it still should be able to happen.
Okay.
And so the question, though, here's a better, and I don't know this one, is I think Ange is going to come with me. We're going to go out, and can I stay out there for a couple weeks and do a few more shows?
Right.
You should.
That'll be the question. And I'm hopeful the answer will be yes.
You have to learn how to.
My answer is yes if you come our way.
Oh, okay.
You can play in Scott's backyard next time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, with all the socially distanced, the crowd being so far away from the stage, you're gonna, all artists, including yourself, are gonna have to learn how to, toss the guitar picks and the drumsticks a little further into the crowd, right, to accommodate that.
That's for me.
That's right. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The whole signing autographs, I don't think will be happening too much these days, but you never know. Like, how would you do a meet and greet? That's a good question.
Well, that's it. Yeah, things are going to change. And, maybe it's going to be set up online where, people who wanted to meet you or have, an opportunity to meet, you can maybe sign stuff ahead of time and have it shipped out to the venue where you're going. There's probably little steps that are going to have to be taken, I guess, that, could accommodate the autograph situation.
So are you looking for a gig there, Mark?
Yeah, he sounds like he could be a road manager.
That's it. I'll be your road manager.
Yeah, that's right.
Jamie Warren merch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you have any other questions, Scott?
Yes, I would like if Jimmy could, if he could play his song "One Step Back" off of his album "Secret to Life."
Awesome. Well, and that was my last song. And here's the story that with this tune is my high school was closing, and we had released One Step Back in 1996. I'm sorry, and we shot it at my high school, and so my high school was closing. So almost, not quite, but almost 25 years later, we went back in and reshot the video. And there was, what I had originally said to Terry was, can we go to the high school? And all I was going to do was the tagline. Back, take just one step back. And then do that at the end of a new song, right? And then be it on the stage, close up my guitar case and walk off. And he said to me, have you ever thought of re-recording that song? And I went, no. I mean, why would I do that? And so I kind of went, and it was Terry's idea. He said, well, I think you should rethink that. And so he was the reason that, Scott, that we redid that song. And then a couple of the new things, I was going to revamp the song in our stage show, right? And so I was trying to think, what could I get the audience to go? And this is how the tune starts, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. And that was, I was thinking if we ever did it live, that might be kind of a new addition. And then the other one was step back. The different background vocals. So, all right, Scott, here you go, buddy. Driving down that old dirt road, feeling up insane. Summer sun reminds me of a child on later rest. And driving past the river bank when they first kissed me, the light was still grow out and free. And Baba lays a black top down in his very seldom home. A lovely wife and 3 young kids, 4th one almost grown. Rudy, he found Jesus and he moved out to LA. And Mary has a new last name. If I could take one step, I'd slip in out the back door and I'd take one more drag in my daddy's old car. One last look from Mary's bedroom window. If I could take just one step back. Oh, oh, whistle at the factory, no longer makes a sound. Roller rinks and all the dragons been torn down. The courthouse is still standing, even though we marched in praise. It's nice to know some things don't change. If I could take one step back, I'd be slipping out the back door and I'd take one more drag in my daddy's old car. One last look from Mary's bedroom window. I'd take just one step back. And life is like that old freight train. The tracks go on without you. Oh, and if you ride it long enough, it'll bring you back around. If I could take one step back, I'd be slipping out the back door and I'd take one more drive in my daddy's old car. I'd take one last look from Mary's bedroom window. I could take just one step back. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. One step back. Amazing, Jamie Warren. And again, that song with the current video that you reshot in 2019 spans 23 years, a 23-year video in the making, which if you haven't seen it, viewers need to check it out. One step back. And again, whoever did the editing, who did the editing for that job, Jamie?
Terry did. Yeah, I had to find it. I found the old footage, like the actual ADAT tape. I had a couple of different versions in the garage. And so I got that to Terry. He transferred it over so he could use it. And yeah, it's sort of, you get a chance to see me age, which is nice.
Yeah.
Too as well. You know, from watch the hair get grayer. And it was a really nice day. Actually, it was very nostalgic for me, and I bumped into a couple of teachers that I hadn't seen in a long time, and it John Diefenbaker Secondary School, that's where I went to school, and I had some wonderful teachers, Mr. Iserman, Mr. Butson, two great English teachers, Mrs. Stanley, a wonderful art teacher, and this is interesting, Mr. Parsons, who was the music teacher, and I never had a music class. But I ended up sort of doing shows and being connected with him. And so I had some really cool teachers that helped me feel comfortable being an artistic, creative individual. And sometimes it's important to have somebody say, you know, when you're a little left of center or right of center, that it's different, but it's good, you know, and we need to tell our kids that you know, as teenagers. Because sometimes that's the difference of continuing and not giving up, you know.
Definitely a good message to pass along to anybody, right? If you're thinking you're doing something differently just because it looks odd to someone else doesn't necessarily mean it's the wrong path. It's just the path that you want to do, right? That's the Jamie Warren, you know, path in life, where Jamie KLOMP has his own path in life. I've got my path. You know, all paths are all good as long as you keep things positive, right?
Well, you're the only one in this trio that's not named Jamie. I don't know, Jamie. It's like
Yeah.
Jamie Kinsman, right there.
Yeah. That's right. I know all the Jamies on the show are right. That I'm very confident with. The marks, well, maybe we'll figure that out later on. But before we let you go, Jamie, where can folks go and watch your music, buy your music, stream your music?
You can go to jamiewarren.com.
Okay.
You'll have all the connections there to the various places, CD Baby and iTunes and stuff like that. And then you send me a personal, it's interesting, talking to Scott tonight, he's got my CD.
Mm-hmm.
And he just reached out to me on Facebook. So that's all I have to do. Find me on Facebook. And if you're looking for old school hard copies, believe it or not, I'll mail it to you.
Even the old ADATs for One Step Back, you can mail that to someone.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's all. You know what? It was a real privilege to have you on the show tonight. An amazing Canadian talent, just an amazing talent. And, we thank you so much. And we hope to see you come to our neck of the woods and tour in our area. We'll definitely be there. Right, Mark?
Yeah, we certainly will. Again, you're working on, I'm assuming now the 10th, or are you still promoting the 9th studio album? The Secrets of Life is your 9th album. Yeah, you're always working on the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
I've got 3 songs demoed for the new record. That'll be the 10th, and I think we have the summer single. The next song that comes out in May will be the first release from the new project that we just started. And part of that, it's funny. It's COVID. It's all COVID related. This last record, Secrets of Life, was supposed to be done in May. We couldn't do the photo shoot, all that kind of stuff, right? And so I'm on a bit of a roll writing and recording, and it's like we're not out performing, so I might as well do that, right? And I really, it's kind of kept my sanity. Getting together with Rick Hutt, my producer, we've been working together for 40 years, and it's like every Wednesday. That's my sanity day. It gives me 3 or 4 hours of focusing on something new and music, and then we've been friends for such a long time. And you have to realize that the first 45 minutes is drinking a coffee and talking.
Or golfing. We just had a message from Scott Sexton says you're an avid golfer. One of the best golfers in the biz too. What is your handicap, Jamie? We it's funny. I'm an avid golfer. Every time we've met, it was never in the summer months where we could actually play a game of golf.
It depends. Your question about my handicap depends on whether we're playing for money. I'd say how about an 8?
You're an 8 handicap, so you're playing from what, the back tees? You're not a white tee golfer. I'm taking it.
I turned 60 in April, and so we play from the white or orange tees, but we also play from the back tees if we have to. It's sort of I overstated my whatever, right?
The age, eh? I once played golf with a Scotsman, Jamie, and at one point he goes, "It's not the ladies' tees; they're called the laddies' tees." He goes, you can't feel bad for teeing it up there on the ladies' tees.
Oh, there you go.
Well, here's a funny golf story. Is that last year, as we got started a little bit late, we were golfing on a Monday, and we always golf on Wednesday, as you probably know. Go to the studio in the morning, I golf. So golfing on a Monday, and I'm getting in the golf cart, and I'm talking to Brad, going, they didn't charge me what they should have charged me. I don't really understand. Like it's like almost half price. And he starts howling, laughing, and I'm going, "What? What are you talking about?" He's going, "It's Seniors Day."
No way. Oh no, that's not.
But after I knew that, I kind of laughed, and I went, "Well, hey, it was half price."
Hey, a discount's a discount, no matter where you find.
That's right. Yeah. You got to take them when they can, when you can get them.
And see, that's the thing why I don't feel odd hitting from the whites.
Usually whites is usually the average tee box that most people would tee off.
Exactly.
Well, once again, thank you so much. It was a real privilege. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing some more new music from you. And once again, coming to our area, because we'll definitely be there. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Jamie.
we'll talk and we'll work something out for the summer. I'll be
awesome. Excellent. Well, if you need an MC for the summer, contact KINZ and KLOMP Live. Jamie and I will make the trip when conditions allow.
All over to my new tour manager, right?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I'll be signing your merch now. You'll be sending it all over this one.
Works.
Thanks a lot, Jamie. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys. I enjoyed it.
Take care and say bye, Ange. Ange still hanging out there?
I am. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ange.
Yes.
Pleasure to see you again. All right. We look forward to seeing you guys in person.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll do it for sure.
All right. Take care, guys.
Good night.
Bye-bye. What
a talent, Kinsman. What a talent.
Jamie Warren, again, he's got one of the best titles on the planet.
Yeah.
The Canadian, the most awarded Canadian independent country music artist. And again, jamiewarren.com, The Secret to Life. If you want to see the video for Basement of a Church, which he played here tonight, the video, I posted it. We posted it on our Facebook page. If you look close enough, parts of his actual wedding are in that video.
I thought you were going to say you're in it in the back.
No, not me. Yeah.
That's an extra.
Hang out the bar in the back.
Scott says he's taken over your spot.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
All right,
it was good. Scott did a good job. All right, Kingsman, we got one final thing to do. So tomorrow is the beginning of the morning grind. And
yes, it is.
We had about 60 businesses so far respond to the post. If you want us to drop off coffee and donuts at your business, just say your business name. We're running this for 4 weeks, every Monday and Wednesday. Tomorrow is the first Monday.
It is. And we got to thank our sponsors for it. We've got Martin Peel from PADS Canine Protection and Detection Services. He's providing, a portion of the donuts and the coffee. Yeah. And the other half goes to Mike Mason up at Mikey's General Sales up on Airport Road, who we just had a visit with Mike not too long ago. We were in there last week. Do we have the video? Do we have proof that we were actually there last week?
I'm saving that big teaser to the end, but we have to draw these businesses. You have the thing there.
I do. It's funny when you work from home, and have kids.
All right,
using a Lego bucket with the balance.
All right. So I guess this is going to how we do it. So dig deep. Two businesses, organizations for tomorrow, and then on Tuesday's show we'll pick out two for Wednesday, but we'll keep it separate right now. Two that we're going to visit tomorrow. What do we got here, Kinsman?
All right, here's ballot number 1.
All right,
is what do we got there? Golden Avenue Public School.
Golden Avenue. Okay,
we're going back to school, Jamie.
Very cool. I like it.
There it is. It's hard to see there. Golden Avenue Public School.
I can read your writing.
So there's number 1.
Okay,
and number 2 is shake it up here. I'm going to pull out a Lego piece. Who's this one?
What you got to do here?
All right. Ballot number 2. And keep in mind, if your ballot isn't picked, we're going to keep all ballots that are on there in there for the future draws, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But if you win, we take you out. Obviously, we have to put Golden Avenue back in.
Yeah, you don't want to see us twice anyways.
Ballot number 2. We're gonna ruin people's teeth and smiles. Riverside Dental.
Oh, okay. Riverside. All right. We're going to drop off coffee to stain their teeth. And then since they work there, they'll be able to get them cleaned anyways.
They're like, don't worry about that double. We're just going to add some extra fluoride.
Oh, and there we go. I almost forgot about our giveaway tonight. And Scott chose him because he was a big, participator tonight. Who is the little green guy on the Lucky Charms cereal box? I know who that is. That's Leprechaun from the horror movies.
The Leprechaun, yes.
From the horror movies. Now I forget about it.
Is it?
No. Okay. So Scott, you won the Sue Variety prize. We'll get a hold of you after the show or tomorrow morning and let you know how you can get that.
So next time he's in Timmins, well, you know what, Scott? We'll mail it out to you. And then the next time you're in Timmins, 332 Commercial, that's where Sue Variety is. And you've got a 2 can dine combo, which Sue, if you haven't known, has a new menu, which you can find on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And they've got donaires now, and now the club combo meals, which now Scott will enjoy. So congratulations to Scott Raymond for winning that prize tonight. And a big thanks to Sue's Variety for providing some prizing for KINZ and KLOMP Live.
All right, Kinsman, you know what time it is. Time to thank the sponsors, and then we're going to play the Mikey's video. and then we're done.
That's right. Big thanks tonight again to Timmins RV. First left pass, the Kamoskosia turnoff. And someone always said, well, what if I'm coming from the other way? So it'd be your last right before you hit the Kamoskosia turnoff. If you're coming from Chapleau. Anyhow, they've got their Get S'more event on right now. $1,000 cash back. And if you're eyeing your perfect summer RV, which if you caught the video at the start, we're looking through a brand new 2021 Springdale. You don't have to make a payment on those beautiful RVs for 6 whole months. Financing. I was blown away by this, Jamie. Up to 20 years is the cushion if you needed it for a special RV. And again,
I might need it, but it's good.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the one we walked through had a message the other day. What was the price on that one? That was $162 bi-weekly, which is actually cheaper than my car payment.
Yeah. You told me.
Right. So
maybe you need to buy a better car. I don't know.
Timmins RV. My car doesn't have a bathroom or a kitchen in it, let alone bedding. But Timmins RV, the cooperators, Timmins, Sebastian Vermette. Go check them out at their brand new location right across from Shoppers Drug Mart. And again, if you're looking for investment advice, he's going to be the one and his team to bring it to you. 239 Wilson Avenue. Maybe it's time to sit down for a free consultation. Did you know that they offer free consultations? Some of the products that Sebastian and the cooperators here in Timmins offer: life insurance, investments, RRSPs, tax-free savings accounts, RESPs, and commercial insurance and home and auto. And a big thanks to Kotek Personal Injury Law here in the city. Nanish Kotek. He's one of the newest lawyers in town. They opened up a new office back in August, 38 Pine Street North. And if you make yourself to the 101 Mall, second floor is where he's at. And due to COVID restrictions, appointments need to be booked by phone. You can check out his website at koteklaw.com. Nanish is your long-term disability firm, disability and personal injury lawyer. And again, one of the newest lawyers in the city of Timmins. So big thanks to all our sponsors for keeping us afloat here for KINZ and KLOMP Live.
We love them all. We really appreciate them all. Okay, I'm playing the Mikey's video. I love this one. I had a lot of fun with you with this one. And then you're picking me up tomorrow morning, right? You remember the contract?
That's right. Well, it's funny. People ask, they go, why do I do more of the driving? I'm more confident with my driving as opposed to seeing you drive.
Okay. Well, we'll test it one day.
That's right. We'll test it.
You ready for Mikey's?
I think we are.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, buddy. We'll see you again. And again, Tuesday night, trivia night for St. Patty's Day, 7 o'clock right here for KINZ and KLOMP Live.
All right, Kinsman, this is not selfie time. Where are we right now?
We're up at Mikey's General Sales on Airport Road for their mid-season blowout where everything is on sale.
Okay, I can't wait for you to finish talking. You know what? I got to go in. I got to check out all these accessories you've been telling me about. And now's the time to hop on down to Mikey's and get your accessories, just like the sign said. Come into Mikey's. You want to make a deal. You want to get yourself a new helmet. Lots of time to get out there in the snow machine, in the snowmobile. Have fun this winter in Ontario North. This is pretty much as shiny as my head.
They've got LaCour jacket and pants on sale now for $199, regular $400.
Don't forget about the Skidoo jackets too, Kinsman. Now, I specifically picked this one. This really makes my eyes pop. I know why you're at this rack right here, because you don't really have a good sense of style. But that's why you got to come down to Mikey's. They got t-shirts that were $40, now $9.99. You want fleeces and sweatshirts? These things were probably $90. They're way cheaper than that now.
Here's your CD shirt now. Look at that. Half price. And how about this for a great deal? CKX snowsuits are on sale for 30% off.
Hold on a second, Kinsman. I think you're more of a one-piece guy. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. There's nothing a bald guy knows more about than hats. You know the best thing? Tons of hats, tons of helmets. You're going to come through the door at Mikey's. You think you're going to pay regular price? Do you think so?
No, because guess what? Mike is up for all the bartering. If you want to come on in and woo him with a coffee, a box of donuts, he just might chisel the price even lower during the mid-season blowout.
Assorted oils. You see, Kinsman, he's trying to pick up as much as he possibly can in one hand.
70% off. Why wouldn't I?
70% off. And you know what? You're going to come in here. You're going to get yourself a jacket and pants. You're going to get yourself a helmet. Mikey might even throw in a
couple so you don't have to look like this guy.
All right, Klomp, time for you to pay for all this now.
All right, I forgot my wallet. Do you know what you're holding there?
Yeah, it's a Zox helmet. 25% off here at Mikey's. Check this out, 25% off Skidoo clothing.
Everything's on sale. Just get down here before Mark Kinsman buys it all.
There's still plenty on the rack. Hey, don't forget, Klomp, Olympia snowsuits are on sale right now at Mikey's for 30% off.
Regular price is $329 and it's 30% off. Boom, go, do the math.
I'm going to leave it to the professionals at Mikey's.
Most of our clients who come through our door and who are suffering from mental illness, they're feeling a sense of despair and a longing for help. Often, insurance companies are denying disability claims on the basis that there's insufficient medical evidence. We've represented hundreds of clients who suffer from anxiety or depression. We fight for our clients' right to receive the compensation they deserve. If you've been denied long-term disability, don't give up. We can help.
Your long-term disability firm, contact Law.